Hi there, welcome to Dog on the Plot. It's Friday lunchtime. I'm just nipping outside to film for a couple of minutes because the sun is shining and I don't think we're going to have much more of it over the weekend. It's looking pretty rainy. In fact, it's been pretty rainy all week. It's been a nice week. I hope you had a good week. It's been a nice week here. So the week started with graduation, which I shared at the beginning there, and always nice to see our students graduate. And Stephen, my former colleague, also went across the stage this year, so that was really nice to see him. We may have gone out for cocktails afterwards. I have a new dog this week. Traded in Dory. This is Debbie. No, Dory's had her hair cut, so she's a bit like a new dog. Still be as naughty, I'm sure. But the rest of the week has been tutorials, so I've been working from home, and I did think I'd be able to pop in and out of the garden and perhaps put some bulbs in and things, but the weather has just been terrible. It's been really rainy. Of course, we're in November now. The clocks have gone back, so we've lost the evenings. By the time I finish work, it's dark, and we had a storm come through again last night, so it's quite windy. There was a lot of rain on the plot. Mark went down there and took a little bit of footage, so I'll pop that. But you can see that's it. That's a part of the plot also that didn't seem that flooding prone, but I haven't been down there yet to look. But my plan is that we go down there this weekend. Now the sun has just gone in, which is frustrating because there's a couple of things I want to show you in the garden in the full glory of sunshine. So I'm going to give it a minute and check on my lunch, and then we're going to go out into the garden. Okay, we've got sun again. So the last couple of videos I've been showing you my acer, so if you're invested in the turning of the acer, then this is part 3, I guess. And here we go. So there it is. As I said, it goes quickly. So it's starting to go a bit crispy and then fall to create a mulch underneath. Oh, messy bits of garden there. But I mean, the colour is still amazing. But speaking of colourful acers, once that one goes over, the next one starts putting on its autumn colours. So this is my red acer. Again, this was here when I moved in. But yeah, I mean, the colour is just incredible. It's so beautiful. I'm not even sure the camera is picking up quite how vibrant this is. So that's its normal colour on top, which is kind of this deep burgundy. But yeah, then when the sun hits it as well, it's just beautiful, beautiful. So talking about being invested in my plants, you may have wondered what's happened with the cafe au lait dahlia. Well, hold on to your hats, because here she is. Yes, yes, we got a cafe au lait dahlia. Now, in some ways it's a little underwhelming. This is not dinner plate size, you can see by my hand there, and it's not quite got that, you know, the petals have that slight wave to them. It's not quite got that, but maybe there's more to come out and it'll do more to impress. There's another one coming here. So if the first frost, the first real frost, because we've had one light one, but if the first real frost can hold off, then we might even get a few more. As well as the cafe au lait, the tartan has bloomed again. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And we also have one of these. What did we say this one was? Mystery Day? Oh gosh, it's very much caught in that Nicotiana there, but it's a bit droopy. So I just wanted to share those with you while the sun is shining, because yeah, I think tomorrow we're going to have rain all day. Sunday I'll probably go walking with Liam, and so yeah, our plot tour is probably going to be done in the rain then, isn't it? I am heading to the garden centre later because I'm going to pick up Mom. She's there with her friends having a coffee, so we'll have a quick look around the garden centre. But in fact that will be my, oh dear, my 3rd garden centre of this week. So after graduation, on my way back, I just nipped into one, and I got these. 2 more cyclamen, This one, I mean, both of them are in the poorly corner, but I couldn't resist that colour. That one's called Goblet Shine. What a great name. So Goblet Shine, and then this one, how unusual is this one? I mean, maybe it's not, but I've not seen it before. Look at the leaf, the petals. They're all like crinkly. It's beautiful. That one's called Meringue White. So they've got to go in at some point. And then, while Dory was in the groomers, there's a garden centre right near there, so I nipped into that one. But I only bought gloves and a bit of rose compost to mulch the roses. And then, yeah, let's see what I find later today. But right now, I've got to carry on with my tutorials, eat some lunch while I'm doing it, I think. And yeah, I will catch you in a bit. Bye. I guess they weren't kidding about the weather. Happy Saturday! Welcome to the home garden. You're about to judge me harshly, and you know, it's fair enough. I should be judged harshly. I came back in from the dog walk with the best of intentions to, in fact, you know, not just intentions. I had the welly boot. The welly boots were almost on. I did put on my scruffs, and I was about to come out in the rain and start putting things in the ground in the home garden. And then my cousin texted, "Do you want to go to the garden centre?" Of course I did. Of course I did. I have to say, there was part of me that was like, no, you have enough plants. What your priority should be is putting the plants in the ground. But that was quickly overrode by the other half of my personality, which was just like, plants, plants. So yeah, we ended up at the garden centre, and I totted up because I forgot there was also a nursery in there earlier in the week, and we just did one garden centre and a nursery. I have been to 5 garden centres this week, different garden centres. I mean, some might say that is a problem, but not me. So what I bought was some seeds. So these were all reduced. I only buy reduced stuff, to be fair. Perhaps that's why I go so often, because I'm only looking for bargains. Anyway, I got a couple of green manures down to 80p. So I got trefoil, which I don't think this is the time of year for, or was it this one, the winter mix? No, winter mix. Although it says September, I reckon I can still get that in. What I found, because the phacelia whenever I put that in, it wasn't the time of year for it, and it still grew. And the trefoil, this said it is good for undersowing with sweet corn. So that was interesting, might do that in the summer. Then I got some sweet peas, which got me thinking I wasn't going to autumn sow pretty much anything, which I've already failed at because I did the sweet Sicily, speaking of which, and I've got foxgloves and delphiniums, and I mean, do I need that many snapdragons? No, I do not. Anyway, then I thought, shall I do sweet peas? Monty was doing his sweet peas this week. Well, I've got sweet pea white frills. Ooh, lovely. This one called Air Warden, but it looks more orangey to me. It says Scarlet Cerise. But yeah, I think that could be a really interesting colour. And then I also got Spanish Dancer. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Of course, this is not all that I've got. I've got a whole folder of sweet peas inside. Yeah, maybe we'll get those out and sow some sweet peas while we're in the rainy weather. We can stay in the greenhouse. Yeah, I bought some more sweet Sicily because it was cheap, and you know, mine only had 8 seeds in, so I thought if nothing comes of those, then I've got some backups. Caraway. I'm pretty sure I don't have any caraway, although immediately that I'm saying it, I'm thinking, yeah, actually, I think I have. Oh well. And a chicory Palarossa, which looked very pretty. But they're all these are the organic Suffolk herbs one, and these are king seed. I've got an enormous king seed order coming. Is it a problem? I don't know. All right, I don't care. I don't care. Other things I bought. This was yesterday when you saw me wheeling the trolley along. I grew summer savoury this year. Didn't really eat a lot of it. It's still there in the beds. I should think about it. What does it go with? What kind of foods do you eat that with? But anyway, now I've got winter savoury. It smells good. Oh, it's quite an odd smell, isn't it? What does it remind me of? It's not lemon, but it's lemony. Oh, it's nice anyway. I like that. And then another rosemary. Why can't I grow rosemary? Somebody give me some tips on growing rosemary, because I put them in the ground or I put them in a pot and they just die. This one is Blue Lagoon. Here we go. So I have got one that's still going, but it's very small and weedy. Perhaps I should stop eating it while it's trying to grow. That would be probably helpful. What else did I buy? Oh, so you will have seen me got the landscape bark stuff. 100 litre bags, so I got 2 of those half price, so a tenner for 200 litres of bark. So I need to distribute that on the paths that I missed when I last did it. I got some topsoil, because you know I was saying about the high beds that have the carrots in. I think they need a bit of topsoil in, because they were filled with compost, like green waste compost, and I don't think they've got enough structure. And the beds have been sinking, so I'm going to put a bit of topsoil in those as well. Oh, I bought a couple of houseplants. That was the other thing. I got an asparagus fern, but different to the one that I've already got, and another calathea. And I've rewarded myself with this calathea because I've managed to keep my last calathea alive, which is a weird logic, because you might think, well, you've got a calathea, so you don't need a second one. But that was not the way that my mind worked. Anything else? Oh, Dory wanders into the flower bed. No, I think that was everything. So fairly restrained, I would say. But I do need to get some things in. So I think before I do sweet peas, let's just get some stuff in the ground. It's not raining as heavily now. The ground will be lovely and moist and workable. Should be pretty easy to dig a hole. Okay. Got my hat on. Slurp of tea. Let's go for it. I'm going to put my seeds inside though, so they don't get damp. Well, there we go. I mean, yeah, they're different colours, but I guess that's what you get from being a cheapskate and only buying bags of wood chip and compost and topsoil that are 50% off because they're split bags. It's fine, it'll do. It's doing the job, isn't it? It may not look brilliant, but it's doing the job. And that was harder work than I thought it was going to be. Well, it's 20 to 4 and we're just beginning to lose light already. I mean, it is a dull day anyway, but that's been pretty good. I got in the cyclamen, geums that were from a cousin, the purple rain, pheasantberry and hydrangea. They've all gone in. Took out the agapanthus and have potted that up in the greenhouse. And then I just took down those 2 sunflower stalks to put in the geums, and I thought a good job to finish with might be cutting down the Jerusalem artichokes. So this is currently the state of them. They're beginning to yellow now, which means it is the time, in fact they're beginning to go brown, the time to cut them down. And as I understand it, you leave a little bit of the stalk just to show you where the artichokes are going to be when you're ready to harvest some. Maybe we'll pull a couple up just to see as well. But yeah, this one has been fallen over for a long time. These are all over here. Yeah, they're a mess. Let's get them down. So the person who should have learnt from last week's video would say, don't just prop these by the compost heap, actually put them in it, cut them up and put them in it. Obviously I'm just leaving them there, but not just laziness, they're really strong. I wonder if you can use them like you do bamboo canes or hazel branches, you know? I'm gonna look it up. That's the reason I'm not cutting them up and putting them in the compost straight away. Right, it's getting quite dark. Any other last jobs? Cold tea. I've watered the greenhouse. That was one of the jobs I wanted to do. Oh yeah, I said we were going to look at an artichoke. We'll do that another day. Yeah, you can tell I'm flagging. I think we better call that a day. It's getting a little bit dark for our plot tour. So we'll do that. Maybe we'll do that Tuesday or Wednesday morning just before the video goes out. Yeah, maybe we'll do it then. Although I think it's supposed to be raining then as well. So I'm going to go walk the dog. Oh, I'm going to make a tromboncino like moussaka thing tonight, I think. So I'm going to take a tromboncino up to Liam's. Yeah, we'll probably have a nice walk tomorrow, which I'll share. And then I shall see you on the plot early next week. We've done it, we've made it to the plot. Dory is at my mum's house and I can hear her barking. She must know I'm on here. Haven't even spoken yet and she's barking. So if I see mum in the window, I'll give her a wave. But yeah, I've been in work this morning. I've been in Birmingham on campus and I've hot-footed it. I just got home, hot-footed it over to the allotment because it was sunny. It's not quite sunny now. Hopefully it'll come back out because this allotment tour that we're about to do is very much a warts and all allotment tour. This is what an allotment looks like at the end of the season, mid to late autumn. If you're not one of the people who, like nice chap Graham down there, who I passed the other day, and he was like, oh, I'm well ahead of schedule, everything's put to bed for winter, I'm done, and he's got this immaculate plot. This is not that plot. This is very much what was I going to say? Keeping it real. This is a keeping it real allotment plot at this time of year. I've not been here for over a week actually, which is yeah, one of the longest periods I've ever not been on the plot. It's just been so rainy, and I know it's so flooded, and it gets me down a bit if I come and see how flooded it is. But actually Mark seems to be making some progress in that direction, so we'll have a little look at his plot too. But yeah, let's go to the front. We'll start. We'll have a whip around the plot, look at all the beds, quick look at Mark's, and then I'm going to meet you back in the home garden to finish this week, because I have a confession to make and something else to show you. But plot first. So there's the overview, there's the front of the plot. I must do some things about all of these bags. They're full of some wood chip, but mostly grass from the church clippings, and they need some of these bags back to keep giving me grass, so I really need to empty those. Oh look, we still have, oh that's a perfect dahlia. Isn't that gorgeous? But that is on bed 2. Let's start with bed 1. So fallen down cosmos, that's all over the plot. But these are the brassicas I put in, if you remember, and they look like they're all still there. And then all the other brassicas that were already here look healthy enough. Another broken cosmos. I don't know if I said this the last time we were looking at this bed, but these cosmos, look, they break right at the stalk, and you would think they would just die, but no, they just throw out more buds. Cosmos, yeah, what a absolute gem of a plant, a real workhorse, I would say. I did notice the other day, look, these are verbena bonariensis, see how I've now learned to say that, that are just popping up along this border right in the water. I didn't know they were bog plants. Anyway, yeah, so that border, fine. Bed. This is a Japanese wineberry that I've put in to go over the arch. I did that after I did these, but I didn't show it. I've got one on the other side, but we'll talk about that in a moment. So bed 2, which was the squash bed and has all the flowers at the front. Now these ones have stayed upright and are going over really now. These have kind of had their day, but as long as there's some flowers on there, they're doing okay for pollinators, right? So I'm just going to leave them. Here we have another dahlia holding on, but there's also a lot of tree spinach that has gone over here and has gone to seed. I am predicting a lot of self-sown tree spinach next year. The actual pumpkin bed, which had the sunflowers in, you know, this is what I mean about keeping it real. This is, it's just weeds. It is just weeds. That though, I think is comfrey. Phacelia. So some of these things are kind of cover croppy. Look at this. That cosmos. But yeah, mostly weeds. A buddleia, where that's come from. Courgette is over. And I didn't really clear any of the squash foliage, so it's sort of just decomposing on the bed. I've still got all the bricks that the pumpkins were sitting on. Yeah, this bed needs a lot of work. Bed 3 is the one which I put the Belfast sink in. This isn't going to stay here. Well, it might, because I'm never going to be able to lift it on my own. But yeah, I need to find a place for that. So this is the Japanese wineberry, in inverted commas, that I put on this side to match the other. But I don't think that is a Japanese wineberry. It looks much more blackberry to me, because the Japanese wineberry tends to have the really hairy stalks. So I'm not sure what that is. Rhubarb's still alive. A lot of wallflowers growing, which is great. Phacelia, which is fine. But you know, also weeds. Comfrey really needs cutting back now and adding to the compost or making a feed. Oh, this raspberry is deciding to flower. Nope, it's not time for that. These are autumn fruiting, so at some point I'm going to cut those down. Okay, and onto the perennial bed. These cosmos, wow, they are still going like Billy-O. No complaints about the Tortondine kale. That's looking fabulous. The horseradish is very nibbled. Haven't tried to dig any up yet. We've got the Saskatoon and the Josterberry and the pond stroke bog area. Don't see any life in there, no little frog faces, but yeah, I'm sure it's providing a good habitat, she says. Lettuce, so that one is just starting to bolt, I think. The others still look okay, but yeah, it's ready to harvest these, and the leeks are looking a little bit chewed, but okay. And then the rest of this bed, well, we've still got Desiree potatoes under here. We've got kale, we've got some kind of kale or kalette, and then we've got all the perennial fruit bushes and trees and things, which is fine. They're just doing their thing, but they are competing with quite a lot of grass and dandelions and dock. Yeah, needs a big weed really. Bed 5 is the sweet corn and was squash. I'm leaving the sweet corn stalks up for the time being as a habitat, so that's fine. These beans, just waiting for these to brown off and then collect the seed. And yeah, more tree spinach that is going to self-seed all over the place, and in between those are Saskatoons, which it'll be really interesting to see if they're okay, if in the spring we find out if they're alive or dead. Okay, on to bed 6. So this was the runner bean bed. The structure is still there. Runner beans are still drying on it, ready to be collected. Actually, they are ready. What else have we got in here? Well, we've got Jerusalem artichokes, and like the ones in the home garden, they're all flopping over and really need cutting down at the base, especially because they're squishing my brassicas. Let's get in here. Let's see if we have a cauliflower. Nope. In here? Nope. Yeah, they really didn't want to produce any cauliflowers. Good job, the kale is doing marvelously, and these cardoons I'm well chuffed with. Really pleased with how well they've grown. Oh look, there's a verbena bonariensis. Yep, did not plant that here. Did not come out in the summer. It's just appeared now at the end of the season. Very weird. So bed 7, we took up all the potatoes from this row, but there's another row of potatoes all under there. We've got more kale. We've got a Romanesco that's throwing out little shoots that we can harvest. This one, let's see what's in here. Nothing. Why aren't they growing things? What about you? Anything in you? Oh, out of the way, leaf. Nope, nothing. These, however, which are the Calabrese, have been giving me side shoots all summer and autumn. They've been brilliant. Really like those. And actually, there's a proper head on this one, but it's immediately sort of bolted or whatever. So we'll take that home today. More kale in there. More little broccoli heads. And then the final section of this bed has the carrots. And we will harvest some of these to take home. How are they doing? Let's have a look. A little bit small. Let's see what else we got. What about that one? Oh, that one looks good. Oh yeah, look at that fat boy. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Okay, so we'll harvest some of those in a moment. These carrots are the Paris market, so they're just the little diddy ones. Like that. There we go. Nice for little snacks. And then in the third raised bed are the swede, which didn't have much hope for, but look, that one looks sweetie. The other ones, not so much. But I'll take one. Very good. I'll let them fatten up. And the slate bed has the beetroot in, the golden beetroot, which oh, that's a nice big one. Look at that one. There we go, that's not bad. Oh, something's been nibbling it though. Is it still in there? I see you. I see you. And then I think the only other thing left in this bed is the the poor celeriac, which I'm pretty sure is celeriac now. But yeah, unless there's something super impressive under the soil, and they're not supposed to be under the soil, it's supposed to sit on top of the soil. I don't know that we're going to get much from those, but I'm just going to leave them to it. And last but not least is bed 8, and this has the comfrey in, which, like lower down on the plot, needs cutting and adding to the compost. It's got the strawberries, it's got herbs, it's got flowers, and it's got a whole lot of weeds. We've got the apple could be pear tree, which it has little buds on. Is this the time that you should have little buds on? Not sure, but at least that indicates you are alive. This one looks alive too. That's definitely apple. There we go. This one, the plum, looks much less alive. We'll see what happens with that one in the spring. Now, you may have caught out of the corner of the screen a new addition to the plot. So not only do I have a Belfast sink, I now have a bathtub. And this is the first time I've seen this bathtub in daylight, because Liam and I brought it down here, well, it was dark, I think it was about 8 o'clock at night. It was after I'd been to the Halloween party, actually. It looks like a really nice size though, it's quite big. Now, what do I do with it? Very open to suggestions. I'm thinking potentially a pond, but maybe a planter, I don't know. What do other people do with bathtubs that they put on their allotments? It is a thing, isn't it? I've seen it before. Right, let's have a quick look at Mark's plot and see what he's been up to. Well, so this, last time we were down the plot when I was putting the brassicas in, this was what he was up to over on his plot. He was constructing this compost bay. It's quite fancy. It's not just a load of pallets strung together like mine that are all falling apart. It's got chicken wire on it and everything. And he's actually using it, and properly, not like me. So this is pretty impressive, and he decided to put it here because this is the really, really floody bed. So he's built it up because you couldn't really do anything with this. It was so floody. And then he's dug these trenches, okay, and I think this potentially goes under here, yes, with the, so remember we found that pipe, so the pipe now goes under this path and out into the trench that is then supposed to get the water down the path at the end. That's the plan anyway, so we'll see how that works. But he's carried on digging, so this bed has now been dug as well, and I guess he'll be figuring out what he wants to do with this one. This one's all covered. He's stacked up all his raised beds here. They're going to be painted. Oh, and just lest you forget, yes, we do still have all of these brassicas to plant somewhere in all of that. But what we really need to do is pull up some weeds so there's actually space for plants. Ah. Okay. So you see what I mean about a warts and all tour. I mean, actually there's things that I missed, aren't there? Because we've got all of the yellow here that is brassicas gone to seed. But I don't know, that's glorious to me. That's great. I've still got the bean structure there. It's got beans drying on it. I mean, it's not pretty, but there are pretty bits, and there's plenty for the wildlife and also me. I mean, these brassicas, This kaleette is just beautiful. If it is a kaleette, it might just be... I did a kale called Midnight Sun. That might be that. Nobody knows because of labelling. There's a little Brussels sprout over here. This is what happened with my Brussels in the garden last year. It just kind of formed a big Brussels on top. Let's have a look at the actual stem. Oh look! No, look! There are tiny Brussels in there. If they actually become Brussels size, that will be one meal, I guess. Keep growing, you can do it. Oh, but you, perhaps not so much. I just saw a tail. Oh, hello. I've got a little cat friend. Bye. Uh-oh, the sun never came back and now it's just started raining. So I think we better call this off. Oh, well, we got all the way around. Oh, I didn't show you the compost heaps. I'm looking at them. There's nothing to see. When I say, yeah, warts and all, very real, that includes the back of the plot as well, but the back of the plot has basically been like that the entire time. Oh no, it's really coming down. Let's get under the shelter. Damn it. Just found Mark's little black book where he writes about all his plans and his seeds. Oh dear. I don't know how long that's been out in the rain. I think that's over, Mark. Our allotment tour was cut a little short, but we did the tour, we got the harvest, so all good. I really did want to capture the allotment in the state that it's in. It's clearly very overgrown and wild, and a lot of stuff there you would expect to have been cleared by now, but I haven't. And in part that's for the biodiversity of the plot, in part it's because it has rained so much during October, beginning of November. We've had these couple of storms come through. I've just heard we've got another one on its way as well. What's this one? Debbie? So yeah, there are still things I want to do in preparation for winter on the plot. I do perhaps want to put some of that green manure down. I do want to get some of those brassicas in the ground. I think I've got to do this thing that I was talking about last week, which is just take each bed at a time. And some of the stuff like the sweet corn, I'm happy for that to stay all winter and provide habitat. So let me know in the comments, is this your attitude? Is your plot looking like mine at the minute, or is yours all tucked up for winter and looking pristine? Yeah, let me know in the comments. And talking about the comments, I did want to say a big thank you. I'll get my drink back for this. Thank you for so many comments on last week's video, so many congratulations. It's really appreciated, and it was so nice to read them all and reply to them all. And there were some people who had commented for the very first time, and that is hugely appreciated. So thank you for all the comments last week. Okay, so before I sign off for this week, I mentioned I have a confession. I think you can probably guess what it is. Yes, I went to another garden centre, not just one. So Monday, as I left Liam's to come back to work, just nipped in, may have bought a few spring bulbs, some tulips, and then today I mentioned I was in work. Well, first of all, while I was at work, I got a plant. Check that out. It's actually, you can probably just see the stone there, it's an avocado. So work friend Dan grew this avocado from seed, and he had a few and he asked if I'd want one. I said of course, I want all plants. So I'm going to overwinter it and hope that I don't kill it over winter. But yes, then on the way back from work, I pass Sapcut Garden Centre. The first thing, don't absolutely need, but absolute bargain, £1 for both, I love a bargain. But I thought I need these to top any planters that I do tulips in. So they will sit on the top of any tulip planters. And then the other thing, I'm going to have to take you down to show you this, is, well, absolute bargain. So this is a box of pond plants. Oh, with the exception of this one, which is a pulmonaria. And that's to go in the shady border next to the brunnera. Put that one down there. But the rest of them are all pond plants. Now, none of them are looking brilliant because it's not the time of year that they would look brilliant, and I won't go through everything that I got, but there's a real selection of oxygenators and ones that flower, ones that are tall, ones that are short. Most of them are marginal plants. There are 9 here. Back to that question of need. Do I need 9 marginal pond plants? No. But what if I make that bath into a pond? You know what I was thinking about? Because if you sink the bath in, there's what you want is sloping edges, don't you? So that the creatures can come in and out and you can have your marginal plants, but you wouldn't get that with a bath. But you know, you get those overhanging bath like little tray things, and then the plants could go in those. That's what I was thinking. If you can't vision what I'm saying there, well, maybe it'll be coming up in an episode soon. We'll see. But yeah, I've got the little washing up ponds in the wheelbarrows that don't have, well, they've got like mint in, water mint, but that's about it. So they could have some pond plants in. But what I think I'll do is overwinter these in the greenhouse. Oh, there's a little snail on there. Overwinter these in the greenhouse in a tray of the pond water, and then in the spring I'll have a think about these 9. But these are like £5.99 each in my local garden centre. £1 each, £1 each. It was just too good to pass up. So anyway, that brought my total to 7 garden centres in 1 week. That is not typical. I don't want you to think that that is typical, but it's also not that surprising. Anyway, thank you for joining me this week. I hope you enjoyed. I'm glad we got down to the plot and we saw it in the state that it's in. Mid to late autumn, end of season. That's what my allotment plot looks like. So from Dory and I, have a great week, and we will see you next week. I look so afraid.